Now, when it comes to smaller tablets, there's not a lot of options out there, and considering the iPad mini 6 wasn't updated for 2022, is it still worth buying in 2023? Well, let's discuss a few things and see what you think. Now, considering I've tested a lot of tablets on my channel, it's sort of surprising that the iPad mini 6 was one of the tablets that I used the most in 2022, but it's not perfect. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I made is going with the 64GB version. I even had an issue where the system was taking up most of the storage after an update, so I had to do a factory reset. But then it seemed to be fine after that. Now, if you don't use a lot of storage, you may be able to get by with the base storage. But once you realize this little tablet can shoot up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second for video recording, then you realize, yeah, 64 gigabytes isn't gonna last very long. But unfortunately, the only other option is 256, which sounds great until you look at how much more expensive it is. The good thing is the iPad mini is available in 4 different colors. It's fairly thin, lightweight, it's got USB-C, and actually comes with a wall adapter. It's got an 8.3-inch liquid retina display that's fully laminated, 2266 by 1488 resolution. It's also at 500 nits brightness, so it's plenty bright enough for my use, and it's probably one of the best 8-inch or smaller tablets that you can get right now. So it's gonna look great when watching YouTube videos, Netflix, or whatever app you like to stream from, as long as you're okay with the smaller display size. In my case, I like it because it's bigger than my phone, but not too large, so you can still use it with one hand. You can also use the Apple Pencil 2nd generation, where it's just gonna snap right onto the side to connect or charge. Much better than what they're doing with the new iPad 10th generation. And you're gonna get the fingerprint scanner on the power button or Touch ID. You don't even get that on some mid-range tablets out there, let alone smaller ones like this. Another great thing is going to be the battery life, and surprisingly, the battery life on here is actually better than almost every other iPad I've tested, including the new iPad 10 and the iPad Air 5, lasting over 7.5 hours in my battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, which again is pretty impressive for such a small tablet. Currently it's on iPadOS 16.2, so you're going to get to do most of the same stuff as on the bigger iPads, except maybe for Stage Manager, which I'm not sure if I'm totally sold on yet, considering it makes things quite a bit smaller on the screen. But it does feel nice and snappy just moving around the software, and I don't feel like you miss out on much with this smaller form factor. Being able to use the 2nd gen Apple Pencil, definitely an advantage on this versus the iPad 10, whether you're taking notes, drawing, doing those sort of things. Plus you've got the USB-C port on here, which is great for connecting other devices like external drives, so you can get your large 4K files off of here. And it appears to be faster than the iPad 10th generation USB-C port. Now you can also airdrop files off of here to your Mac if you like, which does come in handy if you just need to copy over 1 or 2 files. You can also connect this to a TV, external monitor, and even use a keyboard and mouse to use this as a desktop computer if you want. And don't be fooled by how small the iPad mini is as far as performance goes. It comes with the A15 Bionic chip, and while it may not outperform the iPad Air 5, it's still going to be more powerful than the new iPad 10 that was just released, and can even do some video editing or more graphic intense stuff that you normally wouldn't see on smaller tablets. Gaming is going to be pretty good on here as well, whether you're connecting a controller, or the nice thing about this one, since it's a smaller display, it's actually easier to handle, much easier than the larger iPads in my opinion when it comes to gaming. When it comes to the speakers, these aren't going to sound quite as good as the iPad Air 5, but still pretty good in my opinion. They've got nice overall loudness, pretty loud overall, and probably on par with the iPad 10th generation. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what to expect. When it comes to cameras, you've got the ultra wide angle 12 megapixel lens to use for center stage during videos, 12 megapixel wide angle on the back, and like I said earlier, up to 4K 60 frames per second for video recording. It really does a nice job for tablet cameras, and I've actually used this to record several of my YouTube videos. So you could probably use this iPad to record and edit your videos if you wanted to. Here's a few samples of video just to give you an idea of what to expect. So hopefully this gave you a little more info on the iPad mini 6 in 2023. Like I said, I probably used this tablet the most this past year, and I really wasn't expecting that considering how many tablets I get to try out on the channel. But if you want to see more tablet or phone comparisons, I've got some more of those I'm working on, so you'll definitely want to look out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.